All right, let's take a look at this intermediate algorithm challenge from freecodecamp.com. This one's called Pig Latin. So Pig Latin uh, is pretty straightforward. What we're going to do is translate, something into Pig Latin, translate a word into Pig Latin. And the way that Pig Latin works is if there are consonants at the beginning of a word, a consonant cluster, we move it to the end of the word and then add AY to the end. If the word does not begin with consonant or consonants, it would begin with a vowel, of course, and we'll just add way to the end. So we kind of have two different things that we got to do here. I'd say let's go with the easier seeming one, which to me seems like the vowel one. So let's do that first. Let's figure out how to add on way to the end of the word that we pass in here as an argument if the word begins with a vowel. So how can we know if the word begins with a vowel? Well, I'm going to suggest that we use a method called dot match or method called match. And the way that it works is you do string dot match and then you pass in a regular expression as your parameter. So let's set that up now so that the regular expression will include all vowels. I'm not super good at regular expressions, to be honest. I usually look them up. I think it's something that you can kind of know how they work and then and then basically cheat and look them up because there are lots of helpers and testers and generators that you can use to make regular expressions. But this one is actually pretty straightforward. We're just saying constant vowel because it's not going to change. So we're going to use this ES6. I'm using Google Chrome, so I can just use this JSN ES version 6 so that it won't give me any warnings. And I know that Google Chrome can handle ES6. So this is a constant. Vowels aren't going to change. And we're saying include any of these A, E, I, O, U's. The G is something global, something I believe, and the I is, it doesn't matter if it's uppercase or lowercase. I don't remember exactly what it stands for, but again, I just looked it up to find out a regular expression for vowels. So now we're going to use the dot match, and we're going to pass that vowel variable as our parameter. So we're going to say, let's actually set a variable up for the vowel index as well. So let's say, actually, you know what? We'll do that in a little bit. Let's first just say if the string at index 0 matches with this regular expression that we have set up. So this dot match will actually return an array. And if it does match with one of these vowels, we'll return an array. So this will end up being true. So we'll say if that is true, then what are we going to do? Well, if that's true, we know that there's a vowel at the beginning of the word at the very first letter, the 0 index. So what do? We want to add WAY to the end. So that's pretty easy. Let's set up a variable called translated. I'm just going to put it here first. And let's say translated is going to equal whatever the string was that we passed in plus that way, right? And now let's go back up here and let's set this variable as a global variable up here, or at least in this function. And let's say let translated equal just blank for now, translated. So now we're going to say, if there's a vowel at the beginning of the string, let's add on this way to whatever we passed in here, and we'll call that translated. And at the end, we will return translated. So I think we are good so far for the first step. Let's see if we can pass any of these tests. It looks like, yes, we did. The ones that end in way because they started with the vowel, those are working for us. The ones that start with the consonants, though, that's what we got to figure out now. So we got that if. Let's do an else over here. Let's say else something else. So now we're looking at the ones that start with consonants. So now here is where we're going to need to set up that vowel index. And the reason for the vowel index, we could figure out some way to, see if the first letter is a consonant, and then check and see if the second letter is a consonant, and maybe then a third letter and a fourth letter, so on and so forth, and then, start after that. Or we can just say, I don't care what the consonants are. Once we hit this very first vowel, that's where we want to take out that consonant cluster at the beginning. Because remember, we take out the consonant cluster, move it to the end of the word, and then put the suffix ay at the end. I don't know if I said that before, but that's what we want to do when it starts with a consonant. So instead of worrying how many consonants are there, let's just say once we hit that first vowel in the word, we're going to stop, go back, move that other part to the end, and then add in that ay. So how can we do that? Well, we got to figure out first, where is that first consonant? So let's figure out where that first consonant is. Excuse me, not the first consonant. Let's figure out where that first vowel is. So let's do a const vowel index. And how can we figure out where the first vowel is? We can use the dot match again. We can use the dot match mixed with the index of. Whenever we want to find the index of something, you want to be thinking, oh, what's the index of this? What is the index of the first time that this dot match gives us something? So string dot match again, we're trying to match it for a vowel, and that returns us an array. So we can say the first element in that array, right? The 0 index of that array. Where is that at? Let's store that in this vowel index variable, okay? Now that we know where that vowel index is, we can figure out how to put together our translated word. Let's say translated equals string dot substring. Now this is an interesting one. Substring is a method that returns the characters in the string beginning at the specified location through the specified number of characters. So we can say string.substring wherever we want to start, the index where we want to start, and then what the length is, right? Or how far we want to go. If you leave this blank, it will go to the end of the word. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to say string.substring. Don't forget the R there. I almost did. Whenever we get to so we're going to start at the vowel number, the vowel index, right? That we made up here. So this is the first time that the vowel appears in this string. Whenever we get to that first vowel, we're going to take that chunk of the word until the end of the word. If we don't put a parameter here for anything, it's just going to go to the end of the word. And we're going to add that on to string.substring again. But this time we're going to start at the beginning of the word and go until the vowel index. So that's that little consonant piece that we took out, or that we didn't want to include here. Remember, we started at the vowel, went to the end of the word, and then we add on this little consonant cluster, or possibly just one consonant, and then we finish it up with the AY. So just to be clear on this string.substring is starting at the first vowel. Let's look at here at this word glove. So we have glove. We know that the vowel index is right here at this O. This string.substring will start at the vowel index here and go until the end of the word. So we're going to have OVE plus string.substring starting at 0, so that's here, and going until the vowel index, which is that O. So we have the of, and then we add on GL, and then again we finish it off with the suffix AY. So of glay in this case, just to be clear. And this should pass all the tests. Let's make sure. There we go. We did it. There are certainly other ways of doing this. We used .match, .index of, and .substring. They were recommending some other things, push, join, split. You can probably figure out another way of doing it on your own.